So now here's my next question.
Okay.
So do I take out the whole? Because that's what I had put in there. Is I help individuals who struggle with effectively communicating, set a clear vision.
Oh,
So you said
honestly, I think in your case, I would go in like super credible. So do you have any accolade? I would probably just go in with an accolade. Like, so do you have,
okay.
yeah, I don't know. I didn't even know if I would go in with an intro line. I would just go in with like, by the way, my name is Linda, was it Linda Wallace? And
Mm-hmm.
by the way, and this is what I do for you. Like, I would just keep the focus in that spotlight on how I'm going to come in and give value. Like, um, yeah, that's how I would do it. I don't know if I would necessarily say this. I don't think it's wrong. Like, how would you say it? Let me know. How would you give me your intro line about what you do?
Okay, I'm a professional certified coach
There you go.
specializing in communication and people skill building. I help individuals who struggle with effectively communicating set a clear vision for what they want in their personal and professional lives.
No, that's not bad. That's great. Maybe shorten that a little bit just to keep the
Okay,
focus away from you and all on them. But I like
okay,
that. I actually think that's really good. Maybe just take out, just condense it a little bit. I think you might be, yeah, I think I would just condense it slightly, not much.
okay,
And I would use that. Yeah, I love the certified. That's great. And yeah, no, I think you should slide that in there for sure. Absolutely.
okay.
Mm-hmm. Um, and I would take that pitch and that form. Like once you write all that out that I'm giving you, I
Mm-hmm.
would literally just use that as your like save that in a safe place and just use that as your template and just do like 3 of these emails a day. Like just go. Like I'm giving you like the formula. This is it. Like right here. And
Yeah.
I would and hopefully this particular nursing home like gets back with you. And however, it doesn't hurt to just have touch points with other places,
Right.
without putting all of your like expectations into anything. Just kind of you kind of take emotion away and just go and do your numbers and just use this as a template for yourself. And actually, I need to make this into like a template formula. Now, it's every time I have a meeting, I always have homework for myself. I'll let you recap for me because I like when you guys are like, you guys are saying it yourselves. It's clicking with you. Can you recap the actual sort of framework of this email now that we sort of switched out what you're going to be sharing? Tell me sort of the
So my opening
actual.
line will be the areas of opportunities.
Okay, I remember. Okay, I want you to do your opening line will be like whatever they're working on. Remember I told you like
It will
the
be so instead of me starting off with the hey, you're great, but I noticed.
right, don't do that. Right. Right. You could start out with um like my intro line for this sample was, "Hi Sandy, I recently came across your workshop to go products on cravemarketing.com. I'm really intrigued by your streamlined offers for health coaches to grow and scale their businesses with done for you resources." So she had this all in her business and I'm just letting her know that I know her. So I want that to be your first line, is like, let them know that you know them. So you're going to
Okay.
have to get something specific to them.
Like, oh, in 2018, you were rated the top nursing home in the city,
Yeah.
and now
Yeah.
I understand. Blah blah blah. Okay, okay.
Yeah. And yeah. And like, and then, I mean, and you can totally be like genuine about it. Like, that's pretty cool. Like, that's great that you were, I was checking you out. I came across a recent article and I noticed that you had this recognition, or you might have had, you can even look up press release, like whatever their last press release was that they did news about in their business. Oh, I noticed that you recently, did a press release on this new department that's coming up in your business, like whatever it is, like just, it's something that really pertains to what that's current for them, and highlights them and kind of strokes their ego a little bit. Yeah, it makes them feel good. But more than just stroking their ego, again, the thing you want to do is let them know that you know them.
I know that there is a pain area.
Well, let them know that you have done some research on them.
Okay.
That's the goal of the first sentence. Okay. So first sentence, you want to let them know that you have done research on them, that you know about their business. First, let them know you know about their business. You know about their business. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And then the second sentence is going to be segue into the pain.
Okay. Got you.
Right. And so what did I say about that part? It was more about, however, and I talked about using like the
Fluffing it to where it's not, oh, this place is trash, to where, oh, I could see where we could possibly, or you may possibly need flowers added in this section of the opportunity, and or this section of the corner, and let me one, two, okay, got that.
Yeah,
you so could say. My area. So is that considered the area of opportunity? Whenever I say,
so
okay.
Second part, so the second sentence or the second part. So part one is the first, let them know you know them. The second part is to
segue into
area of opportunity.
The area of opportunity. Okay.
Segue into the area, and that's how we call the problem in a nice way. Area of opportunity. So let me show you how that might look like.
So everything that is a problem, I would turn it, say just the opposite.
Yeah. Instead of saying high turnover,
we could build a strong retention.
Mm-hmm.
Arguing employees, we can conflict resolution.
Mm-hmm. Or I don't mind you saying like, sometimes employees get into unproductive ways to communicate, and you can say unproductive, and then you segue into there's a couple tools for that, so that you're ending on a positive note. So if you want to say, let's just say I'll let you say arguing. Let's just say that's not as bad, but if you leave it there, it's gonna leave a bad taste. I can't stand people who just always talk about the problems. I need people to give me a solution, and if you give them hope, that's okay. I'm just saying don't go in and dump on them and then leave. I'm saying if you want, we can talk about high turnover. Like sometimes there's a lot of high turnover. How to fix it. Yeah, and so what I want to do is come in and talk to you about how to improve their retention rates. So you can say high turnover, but then say improve retention rates, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, just don't stay in the dark zones. Come into the light where there's hope for them. And they're like, ooh, yes, show me more. So I want you to keep opening them up, because people get really defensive. And I just want you to, I do want us to talk about the pain and let them know, like, listen, I know that there might be some areas of opportunities. And I forget what I said. Like, okay, so let's go into the segue for like example, that second sentence. So it could be like, although you've had some recent wins, or although you are celebrating this new, department or that new employee of the month, or whatever the case may be, I noticed that there might be some areas of opportunity based on some public reviews, or based on, public feedback from employees. You can say that. That's a little hard hitting, but you can say that.
Okay.
Yeah, I noticed that there might be some areas of opportunity based on some public reviews or feedback from employees on this website, or online. And so with that, I love to, and so you can say, listen, this happens all the time. There's high turnover. And you see how I'm generalizing it? I'm going over. There's high turnover all the time with nursing homes. People are really reluctant to try to work on things in more constructive ways. And I get it. Like, it's hard because the workload is just on. People feel like they're taking on so much, and they're feeling undervalued and underappreciated. Mm-hmm. That's a common thing amongst nursing homes in your area. Right?
Right.
So like you're literally listing out what the girl told you, but you're doing it in a way that still keeps that relationship bond strong because you're
Mm-hmm.
not pointing the finger. And you're like, I
Right.
get it. I know this happens like a lot. And so what I would love to do is share with you some new tools. I love the word new, by the way. That's another marketing term. New is a brain. It lights up in your brain when people hear the word new because they don't like missing out on information. So use the word new. There are a
Okay.
couple of new ways that I'd love to come and share with your team or your executive staff on how to, and then you go in all the positive, increase retention rates, give your employees or your management team effective ways to communicate when there might be conflict resolution, all these things. And I'd love to kind of show you that. Let's jump on a quick call if you're interested. By the way, my name is Linda Wallace. I'm a certified professional coach, and I help people do these things. I love to help your business really increase its productivity by 20%. What would it look like for each individual to be more efficient, more effective in your community, in your organization by 20%? What would that mean for your bottom line? I love to kind of show you how we can get this done. Let's jump on a call. I am available Tuesday and Thursday of next week. Which time works best for you? Here's my calendar link or whatever the case may be. You see how I
Yeah.
did that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't write that fast, but yes.
Okay, I recorded that part.
Okay.
I'll send it to you. Yeah. That's how I would do it. And then just go in like, yes, here's my title. This is what I do. And you guys need me. I'd love to show you. Let's jump on a quick call. Especially, and then make sure you're getting on with the decision maker, whoever's in charge. And have a quick call. So let's just say you have a 30-minute call with this person. So the next step is your 30-minute call. Again, it's all about getting the pain.
Right.
So the call is really not you teaching. The call is you really listening. 80 to 90% of that call is you listening and asking those deep questions. Go ahead and grab the 15-question checklist. And for you, I'm always...
can't find that.
Oh, I'll get it to you. First of all, it's in week 2, but which is the in-depth one. But I'm finding that the simplified version might be even better. Yeah. So I will reset to you. But for you, first of all, you don't have to use all the 15 questions. What I want you to focus is on, especially when you're dealing with like B2B, like companies, I want you to focus on the cost because this is a company and they're losing money. And so I would have you focused on, there is a question in there about the cost of the 15 questions. So I would focus on what does it cost you for people to be arguing all day long? Like, you're not going to say it like that, but what is it?
Right.
What are some of the challenges that like, you literally just open it up. What are some of the challenges? Here, let me go pull up the spreadsheet, the checklist. It's funny. She calls it a checklist. I never heard it called a checklist before. Let's talk about, see, let me grab it. Oh, of course I have to opt into my own thing to get it. I forgot where. Here it is. Okay, so let me share my screen again. Oh, am I sharing my screen? I'm sharing my screen? Or no? No.
I see you waving.
Oh, okay. All right, here it is. Okay. All right, so this is funny because we have an in-depth version of this in the back office, but I like when things are like super simple. So that's why I'm like, we'll just stick with this one. Here, I'll put this in the chat as well in case you can get it. But so here we go. So at the end of these things, it's like the why now. The cost is at number 9. That's what I want you to focus on.
Mm-hmm.
If 6 months from now you're still at, and name where they're at, is where people are still really arguing or whatever their problems are. What will it be like for you? And you're just kind of talking to them and you're just digging in. You don't have to go through all of these questions, but I kind of highlight what because everybody's different, I kind of highlight what I think would be really great for you. They're all good. How does this affect your business when, when you're not, when there's so much turnover? How is it affecting you? And honestly, take notes and listen to them, because this is your pitch.
Right.
This is all your pitch. So you can't like take notes in every single, you might be able to every single, it's 15 questions. Number 12 is take some practice sometimes, because after you ask them like, what their challenges are. Okay. I like this because it's positive again.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like I'm more of the positive. Like some coaches, they teach it in a different way, but I just feel like, we need people to like us. So we can't just be like, you can't call them out like in a way that shuts them down. We have to keep them open to us. So
Right.
this is one way to phrase it. And there's what they call neuro-linguistic programming in this question. So it's researched very well. Can you talk to me about what's happening in your business that's not quite right yet? It's so open-ended. How open-ended is that question? People can take it so many ways. And so your job is just to open up conversation and just listen. This also can be like, tell me about your challenges. So that's what 2 is.
Right.
2 is like, tell me what the challenges are. And so you're kind of just, you have this maybe with you printed out. You're going over this, you're listening, you're taking notes. I want you to do number 12 as well, because this is the recap. Okay,
so
after you,
a reflective question, reflective listening.
Yeah, exactly. So after you've kind of had some discussions, you really opened up the door for them to talk to you, you're going to summarize and literally like give it back to them. And this is not going to be perfect at first, and that's okay, but you're basically going to summarize everything that they said. So just to make sure that I'm clear, you mentioned that you wanted goals, but you're currently in this state. So like they don't have the retention that they want. And the things that are holding your business back are people just not open to change, whatever he said.
Right.
However, it's important for you to change now. So the why now question is important. That's up here. Why now? Number 8. Like, because they have to make the correlation in their brain that they want to make a change now. Otherwise, why are we here talking on the phone? Like, now is the time. So tell me why. So they are telling you why. They're selling themselves to you. See how this is working? Why do you think you're ready now? And if they say, oh, I'm not ready now, then we can end the call, because if you're not ready, just call me when you are, right? So nobody has to waste their time. So 8 will be good for you. Like I said, 9 will be good for you, the cost. Number 1, no, I wouldn't use number 1 for you in this case. But number 2 you can use, and you can just say, tell me about your challenges, or something like that.
Okay, so I got 2, 8, 9.
2, 8, 9, 12. Okay, that's what not number 14. That wouldn't apply. 13, you just basically give them a chance to add. So you can do number 13 as well. Okay. So that's what you would do with this. And then as they are saying, yes, I have something to add, this is what else we have problems with, you'll be like, great. You're going to be like, okay, so that's how you're going to utilize this resource. And then you're going to say, okay, here's what I think would work best for you. And write this down. Here's what I think would work best for you based on what we've discussed here today. And I'm still recording, so that's good. So here's what I think would work best for us based on what we discussed here today. I have an opportunity for your team to experience a full 7-day workshop where we will teach XYZ, use your magic words, so your company can, so your employees can, and then literally repeat what they want to do.
Right.
So you can, stop the high turnover. And if he says high turnover, say high turnover, like whatever their language. Yes, exactly. Speak their language. Make that match. The closer you can match it, the better. Right. And so where is that at? Oh, so that's in the back office. That's week 2. So you can go study this. This is all week 2. So, this particular resource is actually fleshed out in week 2, but I would just use this just for simplicity's sake. But there's a video training on it. So it's 20 minutes. If you're like if you're like cleaning your house or something, you can put it on and listen to it. Can kind of get you in the the framework of it.
I don't know how I missed this. I usually listen to everything you do. You're like,
Really?
let me listen to
Yes.
you.
Oh yes, week 2, girl. Week 2 is where a lot of stuff happens. So, which is funny, and I'm actually trying to figure out where. So let me go into. I had to clone my. You see my back office. Let's see. Let me go into. Yeah, I hope you have everything. So week 2, I think you're at like 4 or something. I'm not sure what you are, but week 2 is a sales training conversation. Yeah, that's this. And
Okay.
this is the fleshed out version of what we just went over. Like I said, I wouldn't worry too much about it unless you're feeling like ambitious, but this is basically the 15 questions, like totally like fleshed out. Like if you wanted to read it over and then have the other one on the call, you're more than welcome to read it over. This does a little bit of explanation. They sell themselves on your solutions, and give some examples. But the one that we just looked at, that is the one you're going to print and just have it with you. And then you go over the numbers that we mentioned. But this little video here, it's 20 minutes. It kind of gets you in the frame of how to have this. Now, again, this is just your 20-minute or your 30-minute. Let's jump on a quick call to have them open up to you so you can sell your 7-day experience. Now on that 7, because we gave you your lead process, you're going to do a 7-day workshop, and then at the end of the 7 days, you're going to have, you're going to schedule in advance the sales call. You're not going to call it a sales call, but you're going to say, okay, at the end of this, I have a 7-day experience, a workshop that's going to help your employees do these things, and it's going to help your business do these things. So that way in 6 months, you're at the place where you mentioned and you name what they mentioned. So that's, how does that sound for you? And that sounds great. Okay. All that I ask is that at the end of the 7 days, we go on a call to review what we went over and see if there's opportunities for us to continue this work together.
Okay.
So that is part of the deal, is to have your sales pitch lined up. Again, you're not going to call it a sales pitch. You're going to call it your recap and review session. We're going to have all that I ask is that I have a recap and a review session with us scheduled in advance, so that we can go over what, how we've progressed, or, however you want to word it. Right. So, okay. Yeah, you're the communication specialist.
So, Sherry, I have a really quick question. How soon after the 7-day workshop should I schedule?
That day, boom.
Recap and review. Oh, okay. The same day.
The next day, that day, like as soon as possible, because you want to make money as soon as possible. Like that's going to be your sales call. So you're going to get on there and you're going to make sure that you're pitching to them. Yeah. So as soon as the sooner the better, because the sooner you can start working with them.
Okay. So it shouldn't be, let me give you a couple of days to think about it. Just jump on it.
You are totally in charge of this entire lead generation process.
Okay.
And the next one you do, I don't want it to be 7 days. I want it to be like 3 days. Okay. I'll give you the 7 days for the first one. That's fine. But and so at the end of the 7 days, so let's say I start next week, Mr. Such and Such, and that's the 5th. I don't even know what day it is. And that's the 15th. That's the 9th. So by the 17th, we'll have our review session together where we can go over what was done and open up the door for ways I can let you know ways that I work with my clients, or ways that I can help businesses really accelerate their progress. So they know it's a sales call. Like I'm not trying to be shady on this. Like, you're coming to a sales call. We both are, and that's why it closes easier, because the expectation on both sides is there. Mm-hmm. So even before the workshop starts, he knows he's going to be pitched to. which is
Okay.
great. It's actually a great thing.
Right.
So that's exactly how I did. So like I would say, okay, all that I ask is by the end of the 7 days. So let's say we start on this and like start giving these numbers. Like I say we start on the 9th, by the 15th, we'll have our recap. We'll have a session together or a call where I'll recap, show you the progress and the areas of opportunities for you moving forward. And that's also where I'll give you, I'll be able to share ways that I work with businesses such as yours. So that's how I would say it's a pitch, it's a sales call. I would say I would also discuss ways that I work with other businesses like yours.
Okay.
So that's part of the that's part of what happens on the call, that 30-minute call, where you guys are, where you're basically asking a bunch of questions on the call, right? So then you say, okay, this is what I think we can do. I'm going to give you a 7-day workshop where I'm going to come in and I'm going to give you all this value. Value stack that thing. You're going to get this. Like hang out on the value a lot. And they can't say no to a free, like all this value for free. All that I ask is that, and then you're literally verbatim, all that I ask is that on the 7th day or the day after the workshop, we have a call together where we recap the experience, review it. We review the experience, and I'll allow you to see the progress that was made, and then I'll be able to, as well as having me share ways I work with my clients or ways that I work with businesses like yours. So that's how you would say that on the call. And then from that, they're like, great, awesome. When do you want to start? Then you go and do your thing. You give a lot of value. You make sure that you're like really in tune with the people who are, just give a lot of value, and then encourage them to tell their higher ups that how great things are going. Make sure that you're writing down some pain points from them, like even in between, like trainings, if they're kind of just be gathering pain points. You're digging for pain points. That's all you're doing. You're digging for pain points all different ways. So it's from employees, and so basically you're going to bring that pain point to the sales call. So he knows it's a sales call. So we're coming, great. I wanted to review what happened. This person mentioned that this was something that was another area of opportunity, or things that you can improve, things that you guys can improve. This person mentioned so this is what I did. I gave them some cool tools and they felt like it was really empowering for them. Okay, great. So then on that sales call, again, watch week 2's video. You're basically going to pull out your sheet again. And then again, it's kind of the same process, but like you're going deeper. And this is now you've had all this deep touch point. So you know how people have webinars? Your sale. So that's what I call the power content, so that you can then pitch. Your workshop is the power content, so that you can pitch. So you're pitching on that call, and what I want you to do, and we'll have another session on that, what we're going to do is to overcome objections or manage objections before they even happen. Okay. So in your review is actually going to be like getting inside his head, so that you can actually address objections before he has a chance to bring them up. Like I told this to T last night. I was like, you need to get inside the head of the decision maker so that you can actually go in on the objection, mention it. And then, so now it's like, do you want to work together? Well, he has no objections. Like, what can I do? Like, we're going to sell this thing. So I'll work with you more so on that particular call. So that's the actual sales call. But first, you need to go ahead and watch the sales call training, which I'm sure you will. But that's basically your lead generation process. Like, it's so cool because I'm giving you your lead generation process. We have this recorded, and you're going to just do this and refine this and put it on repeat. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, this is it.
And this is, the only, and it's not even going to be it's just a solution waiting to happen. Yes. And that is that I've got to be able to put my hands on the names of the higher ups. So that's what's going to be my challenge. Okay.
Okay. So what if you just, like the person who was like, oh, this is great, but I'm not the right person. What if you just ask them, who's the right person? Or who can I talk to? Like, who's in your department? You know what I mean? And if they're like, oh, well, because a lot of this is public knowledge anyway, so they might as well just tell you. So
Right.
number one, just ask, okay? And if, that's the first part. Ask them, like, who is in charge? I'd love to connect with them. Number two, get on everybody's LinkedIn, and you can begin. So what I would do is, when you know that you're going to start pitching a company, and share that email that I just gave you, like, you got a lot in this session, which is so cool. That email that we just put together, before you send it out, I would start just liking their social media for a little bit. Like, go on their Twitter, go on their LinkedIn, and just comment and like a little bit. Just like for like 3 days straight. Make sure you're like maybe commenting, liking, being a little bit visible on their social media, and then go in with that email. Then get on a call with them, do your thing, like we mentioned, the 30-minute call, and then you pitch the 7-day experience. Eventually be a 3-day or a 1-day experience, and then you pitch that. So yeah, so the first step would be just kind of like schmooze with them on social media.
Right.
On social. Then you send the email, schmooze on social, send an email. Have your 30-minute, I'm writing this down, have your 30-minute call where you pitch I call it the experience, but it is like it's the workshop. You pitch the workshop with sales call tied to the back end. So like the next day or the day of. So pitch the workshop with the sales call tied to the back end. And then pitch on the sales call when that happens. So that's the process. Now, when you're mentioning who's the higher ups, thankfully that's not a big problem. It is, number one, ask. Number two, just, you get to see, like you can actually go on Google or go on their website and look under their About Us section, see what you can find like on your own.
Okay.
That way, if you do ask, you have some backing. Like, you remember when I mentioned it's like 2 people who are only in this department, and I don't even know what the names of the department would be, but maybe there's 2 people in that department. So you can say, hey, Gloria, is it Susan or is it Mary that is the person in charge? Right? So that's going to put you over the top of be like, oh, it's Mary, right? So you can kind of do a little bit of research in advance on their website, on their About Us section, or on their LinkedIn. And you can even, sometimes they have those like messenger auto bots on the website where you can ask those people. So you can ask around, not even just through email, you can ask in like their business page and Messenger, like, who's in charge. I've got a couple of things I'd love to share with them. So yeah, try that and see how that goes.
Oh, I'm about to be on it all weekend.
Okay.
I love it when you give me this stuff, because it's like, okay, I'm smoking.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. So I have to definitely take this recording and put it, I will have it as a, should it be on undergo? I'm going to tell you where it is located in the back office, so that you literally what the title of what this lead process is for organizations and workshops, and I'll tell you where it is, so you can actually review it and have it, and then it's really about knowing that these are your steps and then just improving it. And when you do it a couple of times, guess what? It's going to get better and better.
Right.
Yeah. You'd be like, oh, the 7-day didn't work. Okay, I'm going to do this way. And then, oh, what worked on this? So basically this is and that's what I promised in this program. I'm like, I'm going to give you your own lead generation process with messaging frameworks and scripting, so you can actually make the sale. And you'll have this for a long time to come. Now, whether, we need questions answered and access to fine tune things, I'm here. So yeah, this is really good stuff today. Really good session.
What I think I'll do is, I think I will take your advice and break it down to between 3 and 5 days. Yeah. For 7 days, that could be good. That's going over into the new week.
I like that. Yeah, I would do that. Yeah, 7 days seems really long to be a free experience to me.
Right.
So I don't know. I like the number 3, and but it's up to you how your content is broken down. But Yeah, I like that. So I would, yeah, if you have that ability to do that, I would definitely break it down and then just give a lot of value. And I know like you're so good at what you do. And I would have you start doing some role playing stuff, like just kind of sharing with me like how, like some broad strokes of how your workshop would go, and making sure that you're doing things like, I don't know if it's like, you know how they have those comment cards and stuff, like I just need you to get
Right.
feedback. I need you somehow to get feedback from them, because again, this process you're going to do again, and you need to be able to get the feedback so you can do it again and improve it. So
Right.
right. So so inside of this workshop, there needs to be some way to gather data, gather feedback, and then, yeah, and then run with this, because I really like this for you. I think it's gonna be amazing. Yeah. Name it
Yay.
something great. And yeah, and I think this nursing home that you already know has issues because of what this person told you, like definitely use my strategies for like, you know, going after them and helping them because they need you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yay, we did it.
So much. You are the boss.
I'm the boss. That's awesome. Thank you. I know. I can't. Yeah, I can't wait to start. Like, I have. You know, I've never spoken. Like, I do eventually want to start speaking like live. I do all the virtual stuff, but
Mhm.
yeah, I want to be like what you're doing actually, which is actually going out, doing these live in persons. So that's my next thing, because it's so fun. I have so much fun doing it. So.
And it's so funny because, and my brother and I, we were talking about it. I think it was yesterday, and he's like, "What do you do when you're standing up and speaking? Because when you're at home, you just